Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. This is Unit 3, Lesson 21, and today we meet the most flexible verbal of them all, the infinitive. You've seen the participle and the gerund. The infinitive is their versatile cousin, one simple form that can play three different parts. By the end, you'll spot an infinitive instantly, and you'll never again mistake it for that sneaky look-alike, the prepositional phrase. Let's get started. Let's start with the shape of the thing. An infinitive is the word to joined to the base form of a verb. To run, to imagine, to build. That little to plus a plain unconjugated verb, that's an infinitive. Here's what makes it remarkable. Of all the verb forms that moonlight as other parts of speech, the infinitive is the most versatile. It can do three completely different jobs in a sentence. It can act as a noun, as an adjective, or as an adverb. We'll take those one at a time. First job, the noun. When an infinitive works as a noun, it names an action as if it were a thing, and it can sit in any slot a noun could. Look at the first sentence. To travel widely broadens the mind. Ask what broadens the mind. To travel does. The infinitive is the subject of the sentence. Now the second. She wants to leave early. Wants what? To leave. The infinitive is the direct object of wants. Subject or object, it is standing in for a plain naming word. Second job, the adjective. Here, the infinitive attaches to a noun and tells us more about it, just as an adjective would. Consider this. We still have a decision to make. Which decision? The one to make. The infinitive reaches back and modifies the noun decision. Now a second. She summoned the courage to speak. Which courage? The courage to speak. The infinitive leans on the noun right in front of it. So whenever an infinitive follows a noun and answers which one or what kind, it is doing an adjective's work. Third job, the adverb. As an adverb, the infinitive modifies a verb or an adjective, and it usually answers the question why or to what end. Take this. They train hard to win. Train why? To win. The infinitive modifies the verb train. It gives the purpose behind the action. Now watch it lean on an adjective instead. She was eager to begin. Eager to begin. Here, to begin modifies the adjective eager. So when an infinitive tells you why something happens, or stretches the meaning of a verb or an adjective, it's working as an adverb. So far, our infinitives have been short, just to plus a verb. But an infinitive rarely travels alone. Add its objects, its complements, and its modifiers, and you get an infinitive phrase, which behaves as a single unit. Look, to write with genuine clarity takes years. The whole phrase is the subject. That's the thing that takes years. Or this, he hoped to finish the report before dawn. Hoped what? The entire phrase is the direct object of hoped. The key idea is this. However long it grows, an infinitive phrase does one job together. Noun, adjective, or adverb. Now the trap, and it catches almost everyone. Not every to begins an infinitive. Sometimes to is a preposition, and the tell is simply what follows it. Watch. We walked to the market. Here, to is glued to the noun market. To the market is a prepositional phrase, not an infinitive. But change one word. We walked to explore the market. Now, to is followed by the verb explore, and that is a genuine infinitive. So here is your test, and it never fails. Look at the word right after to. If it's a verb, you have an infinitive. If it's a noun or a pronoun, you have a preposition. Time to practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence with an infinitive, and your job is to name the job it's doing. Is it working as a noun, as an adjective, or as an adverb? Pause and decide before I reveal each answer. To forgive requires real strength. Ask what requires strength. To forgive does. The infinitive is the subject of the sentence. Since it's filling a subject slot, here the infinitive is a noun. She is looking for a place to rest. Which place? A place to rest. The infinitive to rest reaches back and describes the noun place. Because it modifies a noun, the infinitive is working as an adjective. He stayed late to finish the project. Why did he stay? To finish the project. The infinitive gives the purpose behind the verb stayed. Since it answers why and modifies a verb, the infinitive is an adverb. One more set. This one is all about the trap. For each sentence, look at the to phrase and decide, is it an infinitive or a prepositional phrase? Remember the test. To plus a verb is an infinitive. To plus a noun is a preposition. Pause and choose. We hurried to the station. Look at the word right after to. Station. That's a noun. To plus a noun means this is a preposition. So to the station is a prepositional phrase, not an infinitive. We hurried to catch the train. Now the word after to is catch, a verb. To plus a verb is an infinitive, so to catch the train is an infinitive phrase. Same opening words, but this time a true infinitive. She sent the package to her brother. What comes right after to? Her brother, a naming word, not a verb. To plus a noun makes a preposition, so to her brother is a prepositional phrase. Let's pull it all together. First, an infinitive is simply the word to joined to the base form of a verb. To run, to build, and it is the great multitasker of grammar, able to work as a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. Second, when that infinitive gathers its objects and modifiers, it becomes an infinitive phrase, and the whole phrase still does just one of those three jobs, as a single unit. And third, don't be fooled by the little word to. Followed by a verb, it's an infinitive, but followed by a noun or a pronoun, it's a preposition. To shop is an infinitive, while to the store is not. That's Unit 3, Lesson 21. Next time, in Lesson 22, we'll set all three verbals side by side, the participle, the gerund, and the infinitive, and learn to tell them apart at a glance. I'll see you there.